Let's continue on our series looking through the cabin, and today we're going to be looking at the lab. This is the research data part of it, where you just have this really big spider's web where you get to upgrade your skills all over the shop. I'm going to go through some of my favorite ones. I obviously have not unlocked like heaps yet, but I've had a look through, read through them all, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on which ones you should be choosing going forward. As we come into the cabin, we go up into this top right hand corner one, we go into the lab. Make sure you have Vivian if you have her, if not your highest whisk character, so you get the most amount of research data per hour. So we head into our research here. There is a few prerequisites that we have to do before we can progress any further. So if we go back and have a look in our Great Adventurer, if you're not up to here yet, you do need to level up your Research Assist skill Crystal Shield one time to go past here. And it's definitely something you want to do because you get 20 invitations and an extra cannon down here. So there's that one, and there is also another one. I can't remember where it is or what one it was. Or make sure that you have it in your head that you're thinking, okay, I do need to get to something soon so I can progress further. It was pretty simple to get to, like it was really early, so you wouldn't have been too far off path, but just keep that in mind. When you start with this radiation beam, which is those 3 lasers that come out in front of you and do heaps of damage. I do like that attack. I've had a look at these other 2 here. We'll have a look at the guided missile. It summons an armed fighter jet that launches 30 guided missiles to bombard the enemy, each dealing damage equal to 66.67 of the squad's average attack. Cooldown is 15 seconds and it costs 1 assist point. There's a guided missile. We've also got scatter shot. Summons an armed fighter jet that unleashes 120 scattered projectiles for a widespread bombardment in front, causing damage equal to 16% of the squad's average attack per projectile. The problem that I see with our guided missile compared to the radiation beam is that the guided missile only hits the people at the front, whereas the laser beam goes through everyone. That's why I like the radiation beam, and that's why I've continued to level it up. This is fully leveled up, so this percentage will be so much higher than what those other ones are, because this is 5 out of 5, not 1 out of 5. I personally am going to stick with this radiation beam just because I like hitting all of the characters. Because most of the time at the front is those high defensive enemies that you're not getting through anyway, and doing this means that you may take down one of those glass cannon enemies that are doing all the damage to you without having to take down one of the front defensive people. So because I went radiation beam, that is why I've gone up higher here to get this enhanced beam. It extends the duration of the radiation beam to 4 seconds. I know it's only 1 more second, but that's 1 more second of 396% attack. So I think this is 100% worth it. And that obviously moves you all the way up into this enhanced beam, which then increases the damage of the radiation beam by another 25%. Unsure if this goes up levels. It doesn't seem like it because it costs 80 books to upgrade this one. But that extra 25% when it's already up at 396% or something, that's huge. So I think this is the play. So I just did a quick calculation of 30 times 66.67 and 120 times 16, and the damage is pretty much exactly the same. But with the guided shot, again, look at these ones down the bottom. If you're on the bottom row, a lot of those are going to miss. So you're missing out on a fair bit of damage there. But if you go to the guided missile, there's a lot more chance that these are hitting. Well, it looks like they're all going to hit your opponent. So I believe that this would be better than the scattered shot. So that is my opinion. I would go with the radiation beam, then a guided missile, then a scattered shot. I'm happy. I'm very happy if you prove me wrong. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'll do a pinned comment with everyone's feedback so that you guys, if I've got it all wrong, I'll probably do another video to correct myself anyway if I do get this wrong. But out of those attacking ones, I'd choose the radiation beam. So if you come up the top here, you've got this random support. I don't think that's really worth it. That literally just drops one of the orbs down, or 2 random orbs. I guess so if you really want it. I don't think it's worth it. I think you're better off going with an attack and then maybe a defense. So if you come down here, you got this limited extension giving you an extra assist point cap. At the moment, I don't know how worth it that would be, because realistically, you're only really getting 1 turn per battle. I don't know what it's like further down when you get to harder battles. Maybe you get more than 1 turn, so then you can save it up all for the boss. But for now, I don't think it's really worth it. And then this nurse type, bit of healing. Again, I would rather take in Sekhmet as a healer than come down and use this as some healing. If you are really struggling, then maybe some heals would be worth it. Yeah, assist, limit extension, cap assist point. So that's another one of those. Again, I don't think healing is worth it. If I'm wrong, let me know. If they are like super OP, yeah, cool, let's take them. Now let's head over into the defensive ones. And we've got the Crystal Shield. This is the one they make you get. I haven't used it because I can only unlock one at a time, and I'd rather take the offensive skill rather than the defensive. It does look really good, but if you have a Burnhild in your team, they do so many shields anyway. So I'd really take the offensive over the defensive, unless you want to go without a defensive hero, but still, this isn't very often. And I think the main thing that you do encounter with coming up to bosses and that, you run out of time. You need more damage. So doing this defensive stuff isn't going to help you with bosses because you need to take them down faster. Unless you may save the defensive one for when they go crazy or enraged, survive the enragement and then take it down. That might be a play down the track. I'm not sure. Radiation armor. Upon entering battle, harness the power of radiation to grant the entire squad an armor equal to 50% of the squad's total HP. This, I think, would be worth it. That sounds really good. Extra HP. It does only last for 9 seconds. And it cools down 18 seconds. Again, you don't really need that much defense at the start of the battle, so that might not be that worth it. Grants entire squad invulnerability for 2 seconds. To be honest, really, at this point in time, I would, if I was going to take 2 skills, I'd bring my guided missile in as my second skill. Maybe I'm wrong. Seriously, I'm happy for you guys to correct me. But for now, what I would go with is radiation beam and then guided missile once you get there. But really focus on one, because you got to wait for another point to reload to use your second one anyway. So I think it's better off just getting radiation beam, going all the way to the top like I am, up to this enhanced beam, make it as good as possible, and then come down this one, down to this energy increment. Because this will give you increase heroes, increase energy restoration. This means that you get your big attacks faster. If you have a look at all these little ones, there's different ones like this surprise attack, attack of all support heroes for 40. If you don't have to upgrade that, then I'd just stay off that because your support aren't really doing damage anyway. You want ones like withstand, where you increase the defense of defensive heroes, because that is playing on the defense of the people that are going to take the defense. There's also going to be like these assault ones, which increases the attack of offensive heroes. That's what you want. You want to increase the stat of the hero that they need. That's a really quick overview of the lab right now. Obviously, we're going to learn a lot more as we go in. But as I said, for now, radiation beam seems so much better than the others. And these defensive ones really don't. I don't think they're worth it. I would take the crystal shield if you're going to take any, because if you can see a big barrage coming in, then you can choose to put up that big defense as well as whatever defensive hero you have. Hopefully I've helped you. If I'm wrong, let me know. I don't care if I'm wrong. I want to know and I want to learn as much as you guys, and I want to help you as much as possible. And if you haven't watched it already, there's a video over there that will help you out even more.